bounce forward. And the hole's over in a collection area. It's doable, but it takes a great shot. And this shot almost always goes right where you think. You had one 3 weeks ago at the Kia Classic, and it missed it well right of the green. I remember watching it and then talking to her caddy, Brady Stockton, afterwards, and he kept trying to coax her to hit it to the left side of the green. And lo and behold, she went right at it and missed it 15 yards right.
She needs to go at those couple of folks right behind the green. That'll be her target.
Got it pretty high in the air.
Well, that's not the worst spot. It's one she could actually make. Up to 4.
Let's see if Elena Sharp can get within 2K.
She sure can. She said she played with Cristie a couple years ago. Same hole location. Chris made a hole-in-one, and that's what she was thinking on the tee shot.
You think about Kerr on this putt. She missed it 1. She could be within 1 right now. Can't complain, though. She's 2 shots back.
Second shot of our leader.
Just 90 yards, Mark, and a pretty good margin for error on this shot. You landed a little short. It's the downslope of that bowl. Kicks forward a little long, just the opposite. A little left of it, and a roll right. So anything within, I don't know, 15-foot diameter of that hole is likely to end up pretty close.
Oh, what a beautiful shot there. Another statement maker at Su-Yeon Jang. Wow, what a shot. Great chance for a birdie. Up ahead at 5, a hole which we have seen an eagle already today. This is the 3rd shot for you. That is dangerous. Look out. Hit stake. Oh, I am sorry to say, it sounds like that ball has gone into the water. There you can see the hole location, dangerously close to the left side. You have to come in from the right. Up at 9 now, Danielle Kang for yet another birdie. Oh, she didn't hit it. So she will likely be 5 shots behind, maybe 6. Jang can get that birdie putt in, but wonderful front side. 30 strokes Danielle Kang took on that outward 9. All right, 3rd shot for Area Jutanagarn. Has yet to make a birdie in this final round. We'll give her a chance. She's trying to catch up slowly. I think she's going to have to make quite a few more birdies on the way in if she's going to have a chance.
Let's take a look, Mark, at our Rolex Women's World Golf Rankings and Lydia Ko, who, remember, after the opening round Wednesday was in danger of missing the cut. She was outside the cut line after the first day. So-Yeon Yu would have to win this week, and Ko would have to finish 5th or worse to lose that ranking, #1 ranking.
But what you're seeing is that the chasers are slowly getting closer and closer to Lydia, and the pressure keeps mounting.
At the 8th, the par 3, Stacey Lewis. We saw this in Phoenix, her make a run at a really low round.
She did in that first round. She was 9 under through 11 holes.
Remember how frustrated she was yesterday, but this is the second time in the last 3 days that she's gotten off to a very quick start. We go back to the 3rd.
Cristie Kerr, 3rd shot with a putter.
He was able to take advantage of lift, clean in place, moving a club length closer to the green, so very little fringe to work with.
Very good.
Didn't come out of there very good, she says. Likely going to lose yet another shot with a par there. Jang is not in the hole yet, but pars are not going to be good enough for Cristie Kerr today. And nor will they be for Jutanagarn. This is for a birdie, her first of the day. At 5, got it finally. She's an explosive player, though. She needs to string together a bunch of them. 6 shots behind at this stage. Could be 7 if Jang can get this one in. playing like a veteran right now. Incredible start. Birdie, par, birdie. She has gotten it to 19 under par. Can't wait to get to the next hole.
I couldn't either if I were her.
Okay, you for a bogey. You'll remember, hit the ball in the water here. That is going in the wrong direction.
Well, they're through 3 rounds of the RBC Heritage at Harbortown, and Jason Duffner, former PGA champion, has the lead going into Sunday. Can he put on that coveted plaid jacket? Final round coverage tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Time. There's Matt Gogol and company. Damon Hack there as well. Grant Boone, Karen Stupples, our entire crew. So glad you've been with us all week from Kapolei, Hawaii, the Lotte Championship. Let's go through some of the scores here. Jang leading it by 3. She had a 1-shot lead, Karen, when this 3rd round started yesterday. It was a really bunched up leaderboard.
It was, and then all of a sudden she really played some solid golf. She made the putts, and she really kind of just cruised away from the field, setting a new 54-hole record here.
She's at 19 under now. That is the 72-hole scoring record. Lizette Salas and Susan Pedersen went into a playoff at -19.
I think we're really having the perfect storms for conditions here in terms of playability for the players. Lift, clean and place means the players get a perfect lie on the fairway every time. You've got really soft greens, and these last few days we've had very little wind.
Literally perfect storms
Yes.
this week. To the 9th.
Our first look at Jenny Shin from across the back left corner of this. She will be defending her title in 2 weeks in Dallas, and would like to do it just like that. In fact, that's how she did it last year. Grade 3 there, outward 9 of 32 for Jenny. She gets to -11. Back to the 4th tee.
We'll head back to the tee. And Jerry, you noted yesterday, while visually from where we're looking, it looks like a downhill tee shot. Not really.
No, green almost sets at eye level, maybe 2 or 3 feet below the tee, level of the tee. But it is down breeze, as were the last 2 holes, which ran the opposite direction. That's when you know you're having a good week. You turn around, go the other way, and downwind again. This is 6-iron, plenty of club.
19 birdies, tied for the tournament lead in that category. 0 bogeys. She leads in that category alone.
That one was fanned a bit to the right edge of the green. Good, fortunate bounce to stay out of that bunker.
And that's not going to be that easy of a chip. It's going to be pretty quick from that down to that hole location. As we look at her swing, everything looks fine taking it back, but she does get a bit sloppy at the top from there, and you can see how she kind of drops it in very much on the inside and just couldn't square that face up.
We're trying to finish with the people in white up on the hill, so I mean that stake right where that guy in the blue is.
Yes, perfect. Checking that club one last time, part of her pre-shot routine. Chance here, maybe just a sliver of an opening. She hasn't had many.
Yeah, 7-iron.
They're
a
all
bunch of
behind
guys.
already.
It's a bunch of guys with white up on that hill, but there are 2 guys with blue. One of them just right of the flag stick, one 15 yards right of the flag stick, or 15 feet. This one at the right front center.
So a long birdie putt for Kerr. A pitch and run coming up for our leader, Jang. Danielle Kang at the 10th after a sizzling 30 on her front 9. And stays sizzling. Danielle Kang has a chance to get to 14 under and a tie for 3rd place. No bogeys this week for our leader, Su-Yeon Jang. She's got a tough up and down at the fourth when we come back to the Lotte Championship on Oahu.
I wish I had time to take care of my portfolio, but...
What are you doing tomorrow? 10 a.m.
Staff meeting.
3:45.
Tai Chi.
6.
And this pitch shot will swing left as it nears the hole.
That may be the longest putt she's had for par this week.
It'll be her first test, and we'll get a good sign of how she's feeling on those putts.
Over to par 5 fifth. Elena Sharp's third shot.
Yeah, let's see if she can take advantage of the sand wedge in her hand. There's a backstop she can play off of. She puts a lot of spin on her shots.
In case you wanted it to sit, it listened. Up to 10.
Danielle Kang to go 7 under on her round. You got to have everything just go almost perfectly, don't you?
Yeah, that was not a very good stroke, though.
Okay, Jerry, with maybe a 10-footer for par coming up for our leader, Jang. Here's a long birdie putt for Cristie Kerr.
It is, and the second time she has remarked it to a line, that line on the ball that she used to aim it on its starting line. So that doesn't mean you're trying to get it close when you do that. Turn a little left at this point, a little bit.
And she'll have a stress-free par to the ninth.
Stacey Lewis has got it at 13 under. Jang in a little trouble back at 4. This is Stacey's second shot at the par 4. Oh, that's a good one. Chance for another birdie. Speaking of birdies, that one we'll be watching. Back at the 5th now. Sharp looking for her own birdie, Kay.
Yeah, we talked about it before. I think this is a great pairing. I mean, both these players played well yesterday. They both have really nice personalities. And they're hoping to feed off each other and just keep that birdie train going.
Could be a 2-shot swing here. Her deficit now is 2. Jang has a 10-footer or so for par at the 4th, and here it is.
Cristie Kerr has already cleaned up her par. This one a little bit uphill. Supposed to move a little right over the pitch shot. Hardly ever move left, so not a lot of break in it. But a pretty big test. And 2 things that just kind of caught me in observation of that pitch shot. Number 1, she was on the fairway cut of grass. Did not lift clean and place it. Number 2, she walked a lot faster to go mark this ball than she has been normally walking. So a little upset with herself by hitting a less than stellar pitch shot.
Amazing.
Impressive.
She is yet to crack. Her lead remains 2 as she heads to the par 5 fifth, where she caught a big break yesterday in round 3. Final round of the Lotte continues from Oahu.
In today, Jang with a 2-shot advantage. Let's show you some highlights from this final day. And let's check in with Danielle Kang, who is going along incredibly well. That chip in, part of her campaign to get to 13 under par, but she just missed that birdie putt to go 14 under. Still has the chance to maybe go through the 60 barrier. Here is the leader, Jang, with a couple of birdies over the first 4 holes of her round. Question marks as to how her nerves were going to hold up, going up against the likes of Cristie Kerr and Stacey Lewis. So far, so good. She has that 2-shot advantage over Elena Sharp, who has only finished inside the top 5 on the LPGA Tour twice in her career. The 36-year-old coming off her best season It was in 2016, a year that she played in the Olympics. Further down is Su-Yeon Jang Inbi Park, outside of the top 10 at the moment. I'm Tom Abbott, joined by Grant Boone, Karen Samples, Mark Rolfing, Jerry Folds, and Kay Cockrell here at the Ko'olina Golf Club on the island of Oahu. Let's go out now to the action at the 7th and Mark Rolfing.
This was just a moment ago. Lydia Ko's second shot at the par 4 7th. And it was a good one. That's why we showed it to you. She would leave herself just under 2 feet for a birdie. Up ahead at 9, you'll remember Stacy Lewis hit a beautiful second shot in and converts it to a birdie. So a good outward 9 for Lewis, and she is now in a joint tie for third. 5 shots behind, but you never know.
And our aerial coverage today is brought to you by the Hawaiian Islands. Mark, you've been a great host, as you always are. This never gets old, does it?
No, and it's great to have all my friends come out here and visit. Just love coming back to the island. It's been the end of an 8-week run for me on NBC and Golf Channel, so happy to be back in the islands. Ko'olina, what a spot this is over on the leeward shore of the island of Oahu. And back at the 7th green, this is Carlotta Saganda to save her par. Cannot afford to give away any shots when the leader Jang is doing what she did at 4, which was an incredible up and down. Very valuable par save for the leader. Saganda with about 11 feet here for her par. You especially can't afford to make doubles. Hit that one way too hard. Okay, back over at the 5th. Cristie Kerr contemplating her second, Jerry.
Star, get an exact to that direction. 79 star from there. That's here. It's going to be something just shy of that.
So how far total?
175.
Section.
Yeah.
So 175 total would indicate somewhere short right of the green?
Yeah, about 65 yards from the hole, maybe 70. She's got 241 total to the hole, 233 front. Thought she might try and get it up there, hole high right of the green, which leaves a pretty basic pitch shot, as opposed to trying to control that wedge and put the backstop behind it and not overspin it from 70, 80 yards. This is right where she wanted it, another one-handed finish.
It's still a little too conservative for me, Jerry. Not only that, it was a bad layup.
Yeah, that's going to be really tough to get close from the rough.
Okay, another good tee shot for the leader, Jang.
Only 221 to the front edge, Mark.
She got very lucky here yesterday, pulled her second shot and ended up on a little peninsula. Could have easily gone in the water and changed her entire day.
Didn't you say let's remember that if she goes on to win?
I did. Although I got to frankly tell you, I'm not sure I was really thinking she was going to go on to win at that point. I did not expect the kind of performance we have seen from her. The key here, Jerry, is if you're going to lay up and really identify a spot somewhere out there. But now she has taken way more club.
She carries 2 hybrids, but she also carries irons as long as a 4-iron, one of the few players to only carry a pitching wedge, a sand wedge, and a lob wedge. But she's still looking right. And the breeze that is helping is now a little more from the left. Makes it really tough to get it over near that front surface of the green if she were trying. Yeah, that's a safety shot, but in good shape.
This is ever. Got a really good angle over on the right-hand side of the fairway. Up ahead to 6.
And the second shot for the closest pursuer, Elena Sharp, Kay.
Yeah, has a 7-iron in her hand. Trying to cut it into that back right hole location. quite enough, but not a bad leave.
To 7.
Lydia Ko to get back to double digits. 10 under for the tournament, which she does. Sounds like a pretty good score. Problem is, she is 9 strokes behind the leader, Jang, who thus far has shown no signs of cracking at Colina.
Within 1 of the leader, Su-Yeon Jang.
She does, Grant. However, I think this is a fairly difficult putt to hole. A little bit of right to left movement initially, then back to the right. Wow. Gave it a pretty good chance. Tapped into that speed well, even though it was uphill.
Her deficit remains 2 as we go back to the 5th.
Third shot for Cristie Kerr.
76 yards, not a great line. That hole down in the little bowl, lots of help around it, Mark.
That's a pretty good shot, Jerry.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say that is a very good shot.
It didn't look like she liked it based on her reaction after she hit it.
Well, I don't think she thought it would come back with that spin being taken off coming from the rough. She gets up there quickly and marks it. She may actually tap that one in. Okay, up ahead now, Danielle Kang at 11, trying to get to minus 14. It's not going to do it, leaving it short like that. She's running out of holes. Time for her to set a number that she wants to get to. Maybe 19 under.
Stacey Lewis, 3rd shot at the par 4 10th. Tee shot went into the water.
Yeah, that's a momentum killer right there.
She might get some of it back. She can salvage par. 30 on the front 9, just like Danielle Kang for Stacey Lewis as we go back to the 5th.
All right, this is Jang's 3rd shot.
Cristie did go ahead and tap in, as you suspected, Mark. This is there's a million different ways to play this, and every one of them is likely to get close. Just a little right of the hole, and it'll take some slope to the left. If she puts it well right of the hole, it could catch that same slope Cristie's approach shot did. Kind of hard not to get this one close, actually.
Yeah, the only mistake would be a pull here.
Gun that one.
The only
backs up on that
mistake
line.
would be a pull here. Ooh, that's fortunate. Any further left than that, it could well have ended up in the water. That was not a particularly good shot. Had a little click to it. But she got away with it. Still Cristie Kerr in with a 4 already. Up ahead at 7 now, Su-Yeon Jang to get to minus 11. That's a good one there. She would have no idea what's going on behind, but I can tell you Jang is going to have to be a little careful with the putt that she has. It's Elena Sharp now.
She's been driving it up long and straight. And this one is no exception.
Big day for Elena Sharp. Obviously, she wants to win the tournament, but if she were to stay somewhere in a tie for second, she would make double the money she's made in her entire last 15 starts on the LPGA, so it's a huge day. Okay, now back to Jang. Sure, she'd like to make a birdie. The one thing she doesn't want to do, Jerry, is race this one by and somehow walk off here with a 6.
You know, we saw her make a couple of putts early in yesterday's round for birdie that were motoring when they got to the hole, and that was not intentional. This one turning right. Tempo on the stroke looks awfully admirable, though.
Gave it a pretty good run. It's not a kick in, though. I think the one thing she doesn't want to do, Jerry, is create stress. And even putts like this, when you're leading, having never won in a situation like this, will create a little bit of stress, even if you're making them all. Okay, no harm. Par 5 for Jang.
So Mark, back-to-back days of the fifth, she hit shots that could have gone into the water, but did not. And Stacey Lewis into the water off the tee at 10, saves par.
That's a heck of a save, because when you're that far back, because you have to take relief behind the hole, that's a long shot into that green. Her iron shot's been great today.
Have they ever? 7. I beg your pardon. At the 8th, and Lydia Ko for another birdie. How big could this be for Lydia Ko to see a bunch of putts go in?
Huge. It's been the one bit of a game that she's been struggling with all year long.
50th or so in putting this year after leading the tour in that category last year. Su-Yeon Jang had a 4-shot lead earlier. It's down to 2 as she moves to the 6th at the Lotte. On the tee at the 6th.
Do a pretty good breeze, this tee shot is. Cristie Kerr already played first and hit a really nice one down the middle. It's only drifting just a little right on the breeze.
Again, if you're in the fairway, you can pick it up, clean it, and put it within a club length, no closer to the hole. To the 11th.
Minjee Lee. Second shot at the shortish par 4. That's a beauty there for Minjee, just behind the hole. Leave herself about 6 feet for her 3. There's the breeze that has come up. A little different direction than it's been the first 3 days. More from the south, or southwest right now. Minjee, our defending champion. Great performance last year. 16 under par. Came from behind to win. Pretty good list of names there. It shows you the quality of the venue and the importance of the championship when you've got the likes of Miyazato, Suzanne Pedersen, of course, Michelle Wee a couple of years ago. This lady would like to add her name to the list right here, Elena Sharp.
It's not going to spin back down. Adrenaline.
I mentioned some of the changes that she's worked on very hard in the last year with her coach, Tristan Mullally. A big part of it is the wedge game.
Yeah.
And wow,
That was scooped.
that was the worst wedge she's hit in the last couple days. Well, I guess that little one at the 3rd wasn't so good either.
Back to 8.
And it's So-Yeon Yu at 11 under. Karen, I asked you about following up your British Open title. There have only been 4 times in the last decade that a player has won a major and then won the next event on the LPGA Tour calendar, and Moreno Cho was the one who did it twice, 2 of those 4 times. This has been a good follow-up for So-Yeon Yu, hasn't it?
It has been, and as a player, that you get one. Yes, you're very confident, you're playing great, but it's very easy to still be living that moment and not really be in the present of what's occurring this week, because obviously you're so excited and so happy, and everybody reminds you about what happened, and you still have to get on and play the event that you're playing in. But Yu has had a chance to have a week off to digest it all, which is different to going straight into another event.
Danielle Kang with one of 2 front nines of 30 today. Stacey Lewis has the other. Here she is at the 12th. And she'll do well not to drop a shot there. 4 birdies and an eagle for Danielle Kang. We get you back to the 6th. Then, Jerry, you have to go back to the 2nd round of the A&A to find the last, only 2 over par holes, I should say, in the last 97 now for Cristie Kerr, a bogey and a double, and that's it. Very
Yeah.
consistent.
Well, she's been showing signs of the old Cristie Kerr mini points so far this year. Just hasn't put it together for 4 rounds. This an 8-iron from 136.
Go. Go. Go.
Really good.
Wow, you knew she liked it by holding her finish and not hardly budging. Posing on that one.
Kerr is within 4. Here's Su-Yeon Jang.
This 130 yards into a little breeze. A bit of a downhill lie from that first cut of rough. Sometimes that first cut of rough is harder to predict than the longer rough. You just get a little grass between the ball and the club face and it can squirt.
She was asked in the press conference what would be different this year from last year. She said that she feels that she's in a better place emotionally and physically than she was this last year. She worked on her consistency, and that would help her to calm those nerves.
Just 7.
Short-sighted herself, did Sharp.
And the ball nestled into the trough that her ball created rolling into the bunker. And it was always going to be a tough shot.
So big mistake for Elena Sharp at the 7th there. She's on the chase. Jang with a 2-stroke lead when we come back to the Lotte Championship.
And it broke 3.
She made about a 10-footer for par back at the 4th. She'll have longer than that for par at the 6th. She's not made a bogey yet. Area Jatanagarn, is she too far back?
I think with her firepower, I don't think she's that far back. I think that she needs to keep that progression going from this point. 13 definitely needs to keep going with those birdies.
Seems to be enjoying herself at 7.
Sharp for a par, that was kind of a wipe.
Yeah, she made a good par save here yesterday, but not to be today.
Well, the mistake was with the second shot, Kay. Put it in that right bunker, which is no good at all. Neither are squares on a scorecard when you're behind at Coalina. And Jang is staring down the possibility of putting a square, her first one on that card herself.
Hasn't had one, yeah, all week. This is for par, and Cristie Kerr with a birdie putt still to come.
Yeah, she didn't lose her turn, did Su-Yeon? This one should turn a little bit left, but I think the first putt's going to make her correct her read and trying to do it with very little read because this group has been warned for being out of position. And that's not in yet. Not even close.
That's her first dropped shot through the shadow of the palm fronds.
Without that, it's all speed.
Yeah.
So Cristie Kerr has a chance for a 2-shot swing. Let's go to the 11th. The plot thickens, Mark.
It sure does. Stacey Lewis wouldn't know what's happening back there. Doesn't matter, though. Just needs to keep playing her own game, which she does. That is a beauty for Lewis. 5 feet for a birdie. Back to 9, Lydia Ko. She needs to make a bunch of birdies coming in, and that's a good start right there. 33, she is out in, minus 12. About to be only 6 behind. Maybe even 5, but first, Cristie Kerr.
For a second straight birdie and to put a little heat on her fellow competitor.
And in Christie's mind, I can promise you she knows how much momentum this could bring her emotionally.
There you go. She walks it in. Cristie Kerr with back-to-back birdies. She's at 16 under. Her deficit will be no greater than 2, and Jang has a putt for bogey.
Is like a shark smelling blood in the water, that one for Cristie, I think. She's like, I know this is my opportunity right here to force that door open.
Might be the best analogy of the year right there.
With the emotions swirling and the shadow of the palm frond swirling, a bogey putt for our leader.
And the one thing we don't know is, are the nerves running on high? I would imagine they would be right now.
Wow. So she drops her first shot of the week, and what was a 4-shot lead earlier down to 2, and Kerr has joined Sharp in second place, and this woman could get a little closer as well.
This is just an inside left putt, right about like that. Beautiful birdie there for Lewis, totally confident in that stroke. Look at all those circles. Up to 12.
Yes, 7 birdies for Lewis. Danielle Kang trying to hang on to her momentum. Got Danielle Kang a 4th place finish earlier this year, and she remains tied for 5th place. We go to the tee at the 8th, and Elena Sharp, and Karen and Kay, I'll ask you both, the way she stood tall playing in her home country in Calgary, 4th place finish. I would imagine that pressure was as immense as this must be, if not more.
Most definitely. That was the best finish on tour, Karen. And, you know, that's a benchmark. Everyone remembers their first 4th place finish, their first 2nd place finish, their first win.
Cristie Kerr seized the honor from Jang. That is important.
This one going left. Be lucky to catch the fairway.
Well, we'll depend on the lie. That last little bounce settled down just a bit. Maybe a little quick on the transition there by Cristie Kerr. And Jang really needs to settle her nerves. That bogey on the last hole was all about nerves, I believe. You could really tell when she got the pace totally wrong on the long putt.
This one also a bit of a draw. Left side.
That's a good bounce, Jerry. And I would say a good answer to that bogey. She starts the 7th with a tee shot in the fairway. The humpback whales in the Hawaiian waters getting ready to head back to Alaska for the summer.
This is my headquarters. This is where I trade and manage my portfolio. Since I added futures, I have access to the oil markets and gold markets. Okay. I'm plugged into equities, trade confirmed. And I have global access 24/7, meaning I can do what I need to.
We're at the 12th, and Minjee Lee, a chance to get to 10 under, our defending champion. It may take something like a 64 from someone today to catch Su-Yeon Jang.
Well, and those numbers are out there. Everybody's sort of firing darts at these holes, so got to go for it.
Over at 9, Su-Yeon, you just barely missed the fairway, but that means you can't live clean in place. It will depend on the lie here, how the ball will react. Oh, she got a lot of spin on it. Did not matter to her. That is a beauty. So players on full attack here at the 9th.
15, I mean, it's just normal one of these.
And Cristie Kerr now with a second shot from the left rough.
One's right to left.
Yeah, a little help to it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to play it
Yes.
20.
Yes, perfect.
And that's playing about 15 out of this leg. Right at it?
Yeah.
Finish it a little left?
Yes.
Fine at about 20 would be the front edge of the green. Holes placed on 14, so that's 134 total. Big, tough to grass, strong grass right behind the ball, so not much chance of spinning it. She knows it. If you land it much short at 120, it won't bounce forward, not just really loft out of the grass.
Go. Get up.
Stood right up on the fringe, but still going to work out okay.
Reacted just like she thought it would. The difference between those two caddies is Cristie's confirms what Cristie says she will do. Jang's tells her player what to do.
We're pretty sure anyway. But yeah, he does seem to have great influence in every shot that Jang hits. It's just 114 yards. Breeze helping. A little from the right, as you heard Cristie describe. So nothing out of the ordinary here. Just I'm sure, a gap wedge for her. Again, she only carries 3 wedges. Most players carry 4. That's low and fanned a little bit. Oh, she recovered just enough through impact to save it from going to the bunker mark.
Boy, another couple feet to the right, and she would have been right where Elena Sharp was. Speaking of Elena, here she is.
And this has 3 putt written all over it. Putting from the top tier down that steep slope. She needed to hit the back of the cup to have any hope.
To the tee at the 12th, Stacy Lewis, now just 3 shots back. And another great look, 9 back when the day started. This would be a most improbable way to snap a 69 event losing streak. Back to the 8th. Sharp for par.
Karen, she's taking a lot more time on these putts than she did yesterday. I feel like she's overthinking them, and she's bringing her caddy in much more. A lot more indecisiveness today.
Yep.
Bit of bad luck there that didn't drop, but...
Well, I think she kind of felt that she was going to get more backspin with her tee shot and getting it back down the slope.
Let's get you to the 10th, and Lydia Ko with 3 consecutive birdies. And that for a 4th straight. There's no way, is there? Right? Are we in agreement there's no way she can do this? Or you're not willing to?
I think Stacy Lewis is playing too well ahead of her.
All right, well, book like a pro with Golf Now VIP, an all-new annual membership featuring no cancellation or convenience fees and 25% more rewards points on every round you book. Become a VIP today at golfnow.com/VIP. 7. Kerr stalking.
There is the ever-present line on the ball. Great camera work there. See how just precise she is with the way she remarks that ball.
She's certainly got that stride with purpose going right now, Mark. She always walks briskly and confidently, but give her a little momentum and she runs with it like so few others. This one up the hill a little bit. I think it's supposed to go a little right, although the draw of that bay is to the left.
Good read, Jerry. She didn't see it. So that'll be a par for Kerr. Back to 10.
And here is Lydia Ko for a 4th straight birdie.
I think what she's been doing better, Grant, is how she gets the putter moving through the ball. See how it just goes through? When she misses those putts, when she's been putting poorly, it almost she gets to the ball and stops and then tries to go through. That was a proper through the ball.
She's only 5 shots back. She was 10 back about an hour ago. Now this woman, Su-Yeon Jang.
Another fortuitous bounce here. Could have kicked right and gone into the bunker. Instead, she has a makeable birdie putt.
A little surprised she didn't take advantage of the lift clean in place and move it over what would be toward the back of the green, right off the edge of the green, and take away whatever variable fringe she's dealing with here.
That's a couple times she hasn't done that, Jerry.
Exactly.
I wonder if she's a little worried about the potential for having to call, rules infractions or something like that, given her past experience way back when she was an amateur, having somebody call in. She just doesn't want to take any chances with the perception that she might be closer to the hole or something like that.
Very possible.
It could also be that I don't care knows they're a little bit out of position too, and that would tend to get you going a little quicker and maybe not do it. Maybe she forgot about it, frankly.
Yeah, could be.
Don't know. No way of knowing.
At the 12th, Stacey Lewis to get within 2 of the lead. Wow. That close. 13.
Danielle Kang for a birdie at the par 5. This will be a pivotal hole as the afternoon goes on. And that is a beautiful putt there by Kang. So her first birdie of the inward 9 after a round of 30 going out for Kang. She's gotten it to 14 under. She trails by 4. Jang with a 2-shot lead at Colina.
Today's coverage is brought to you by the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Choose the best for your game. And by Prudential, official financial services provider of the LPGA. We asked people, Cristie Kerr.
Just a pitching wedge. Backstop behind it.
Third straight hole with the honor.
That had to look good in the air.
Kerr at one point was 5 shots behind her fellow competitor, Su-Yeon Jang. She's now 2 shots back. Grant Boone, Karen Stupples, Mark Walton, Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, Kay Conwell. There's 22-year-old Su-Yeon Jang.
The signal is a 9-iron for North Slaughter up on the tee. I have a hard time thinking she's going to try and just tickle a 9-iron here. It's like 128. Wind's helping from the left.
Well, given the fact she's missed a couple right as well, if she is hitting a little 9-iron, that would increase the chances of this missing right as well. Because you never fully release it if you think it's too much club.
Sounded a little off the toe as well right of the hole. That definitely sounded like a miss hit and reacted like it, obviously.
How tough is that up and down?
That's tough. She can use that backstop, though.
So-Yeon Yu at the 10th for birdie. Six shots back. Back-to-back par 5s coming up at 13 and 14. To the 9th.
Elena Sharp after a good tee shot, her second.
Just a 9-iron in, soft one. Needs to put those 2 bogeys behind her.
Really confident follow through. She's getting through the ball really well. Striking it good. That's the difference in her game.
She does appear to be a different player after qualifying for the Canadian Olympic team and then finishing 4th in Calgary at the Canadian Pacific Women's Open. So Jang, age 22, she's trying to become the youngest winner this year. Take a look at the ages. We didn't have a winner over the age of 24 until June last year. That was Anna Nordquist of the ShopRite. Well, we've seen a little different trend here.
Well, and you think about, at this point last year, how many times Lydia Ko had won. You're
Won
seeing
a couple already.
Yeah. But even so, that's a nice balanced trend.
Of course, Cristie Kerr and Stacey Lewis could continue that trend. Su-Yeon Jang, just 22 years old. She was born 5 months after Cristie Kerr. made her LPGA Tour debut as a teenager. And now she's got a second shot here at the par 3 8th.
There is so much that can go wrong on this shot right here. It's a tight lie, a bit of an uphill lie, but a tight lie. You don't catch it cleanly, it rolls back to your feet. You just thin it a little bit or gun it a little bit, and that has you right on the other side of the green with nothing to stop the ball from going in it. I think the shot here, you're not going to get it real close. You can get it 4 or 5 feet away, is to use that slope behind the hole, aim this 15 feet right, and let it come down that slope.
Did she clean it?
Yeah, I believe so. You know what? I really wasn't watching. I was checking with Brady Stockton about something. Cristie's caddy.
Oh, that was...
Look out.
I'm with you, Jerry. I really felt like the play was to use that backstop. I mean, she really went for broke on that one.
Well, to try and bounce it, and that slope, as severe it is, and as strong as that grass is into the green, that was very little chance.
This tournament has changed dramatically in the last 45 minutes. Would you clean it right here and replace it, Karen?
Absolutely.
It's hard to believe she's not.
Well, she can take advantage of the grain. She can move it to a down grain spot, a bit of grass.
Third shot on a par 3.
Playing way too quickly. I think she's totally lost track of what she's doing.
Yep.
The mind starts racing sometimes when you get in this position, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
One more look, and Mark, I'm beginning to think you may be right there. It's easy when you hit a tee shot to go in the fairway. It's obvious, okay, I'm going to clean it here. But when you're around the green, it is a little different.
She should have stopped, taken a breath, lifted it, cleaned it, put it into a lie that she wanted. She hit it way quicker than any other pace of a shot she's played the whole week.
She has a bogey putt.
Sharp now for a birdie to get closer. She would have no idea what's going on behind, but she's going to be very close in a minute. 241 times she has started on the LPGA waiting for a victory.
And her fellow countrywoman, Brooke Henderson, to get to 10 under. Back we go to the green at 8. Elena Sharp, as Mark mentioned, doesn't know what's going on. Cristie Kerr has a front row seat.
Yes, she does. Not an easy putt here. A little ticklish speed-wise, certainly turning left.
She could be leading.
Looked like it might have bounced just off the putter face there, but still wasn't ever going to turn that much.
Cristie Kerr was 5 shots back earlier in this round. If she makes that and Jang misses, she'll be tied. Jang has a putt for bogey.
And, we're talking about how quickly she hit those shots. Her caddy, who is so very involved in coaching her around the course, has to take some responsibility there too, and not saying, hey, take a minute, step away, mark it, replace it, gather yourself, and let's go from there.
I think there's a whole manner of factors that are kind of taking place here. At the start of the day, you've gone from playing in a threesome to playing in a twosome. When you play in a threesome, you have extra time to get ready to play your shot. Now all of a sudden you're in a 2. Then you end up getting behind and being warned that you have to speed up. So not only is your mind racing, everything's racing. You feel like you have to hurry everything.
This for bogey to stay in the lead. A 4-shot lead has evaporated in the last half hour. For 22-year-old Su-Yeon Jang. No bogeys in the first 59 holes. 2 over par holes in the last 3. And Cristie Kerr is one of the beneficiaries. This for par. She's tied. You said it at the start of the day. There's no one else in this field whom a young player wouldn't want to be paired with more than Cristie Kerr. Wow. And that brings a boatload of other players like Stacy Lewis into the mix.
Grant, she's 1 shot behind. Good chance here at 13 to get all square. Oh, it's not far enough. That's not a good shot at all. She didn't get it on. Mistake for Lewis. Back at 11, Lydia Ko for a birdie. To get to minus 14, she would be within 2 shots. I can tell you it hit the side of the hole and lipped out. You couldn't see it. That must look really good from Lydia's viewpoint. It's anyone tournaments now, though. Anyone's tournament. Going to be a dozen players within 5 shots very quickly. Now, co-leader, amazing. We're saying that. Cristie Kerr on the tee at 9.
Correct. And the green is clear, so this group is still technically out of position, although rules official Marty Robinson told me they picked up 1 minute per hole the previous 2 holes. So they haven't timed him yet. Breeze feels like it's dying down now. It could just be the Marriott in the background blocking the wind. It should be helping a little from the right.
Cristie Kerr's not going to change her pace much, I can tell you that.
She's a veteran of it. When they get behind, she'll speed up her pace a little bit, but she knows when it's okay to take your time and when it's okay not to appear like you're taking your time.
Well, and when the actual stopwatch isn't on as well, that's she knows that there's nothing that they're not going to hurt her right now.
Oh yeah, good tee shot there.
Boy, that's some get up and go right there. So good spot. And Jang is now watching Cristie play ahead of her on every tee. That is a real disadvantage.
And since they were warned, Mark, 3 holes ago, Jang has jogged. Well, she jogged off the 6th tee and 7th tee. Now, that sounds highly unusual for what we're accustomed to seeing, but Karen told us during commercial that's very common on the KLPGA. Players running between shots to keep from falling behind.
They are actually really hot on it on the KLPGA Tour, really tough on the players. They really like to keep really strict TV times over there.
Good tee shot by Jang. Just what she needed at that stage, up on the left-hand side of that fairway. Up at 13, this is a very slow putt for Stacey Lewis. Totally misread, got it way right, wide right, left it above the hole. Hard to imagine that she could shoot around a 72 yesterday, Stacey Lewis, and still be in this championship, but there she is. She's 7 under for the day as we look at Waikiki.
Aspect of the game you're interested in. If you love this game, morning drive is definitely for you.
This is Yu's second shot at the par 4-11. She's gotten it to minus 12. And within striking distance now, the leader Jang. Oh, that's going to get her even closer. What a shot there. Just under 3 feet for her birdie. We go back to 10.
And Elena Sharp, who is 1 shot back. Kay Cockrell, do you think she has any idea where she stands?
I don't, because the leaderboard was tough to see at the 9th, and even so, it wasn't updated at that point. It's a 9-iron from the rough, and a gorgeous shot.
Good timing as well. Bogeys at 7 and 8 for Sharp. Little fist bump. She'll have that to get to 16.
All right, Cristie Kerr, right down the center here. Second shot now at 9.
124 yards to that front edge, 135 to the hole. Breeze helping from the right. This is a pitching wedge. It'll be a full one.
It's a situation she relishes, playing first into the green, even though Jang has outdriven her a little. I think this is an advantage. Put some pressure on. Doesn't like it.
No, it's right. Catch that little collection area a little bit short. That sounded a little thin as well.
Big putt for Stacey Lewis at 13 for a par. Stake was on the 3rd shot. Didn't get it on the green, and that is going to be an ugly 6. Here's Jang back at the ninth.
126 yards, so essentially 2 yards shorter than the previous hole played. It was a little bit smoother transition, still a little right of the hole. Oh, good shots.
What a time to hit a shot like that. What a response by Jang. So after the disaster at 8, chance to redeem herself with a bird. Can she do it? We will find out when we come back to Colina.
Attempt for Su-Yeon Jang. We've got the par putt here of Cristie Kerr.
Never easy to play 2 consecutive shots in a 2-ball, Jerry, but that's what Cristie has to do here.
Yeah, and this is directly under the hole, pretty much straight uphill. I don't see a ton of break in it, pretty slow. Both caddies have checked out the leaderboard. It hasn't yet updated Elena Sharp, but they know where things are. I haven't seen either player look over there yet. There's a big putt, potential 2-shot swing within just this pairing mark.
She's good. She is good. She just hits those putts and then walks them into the hole.
Yeah, I mean, she's moving when it's 4 or 5 feet out.
Okay, so now Jang from the opposite side of the hole, so no way she can hit that one as firm as Cristie Kerr just hit hers. Still shouldn't be a hard putt other than the situation, Jerry.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just appears to be a slight bit of slope around where the ball is sitting to make it feel when she gets over as though it's going to go a little right. And that's where she's rehearsing.
What a 3 and what a time to make it. What an answer to a double bogey at 8 birdie for Jang, and she has got the lead back.
Our aerial coverage is provided by the Hawaiian Islands. And Mark, this is a sight for sore eyes after 3 days of some weather stoppages.
Beautiful Saturday afternoon here. Saturday finish back. In the background there, those are the Ko'olau Mountains, one of the 2 ranges on this island. Elena Sharp on the tee at 11, dogleg right, par 4. Goes after the tee quickly. That's a good sign.
Man, the driver has not been a problem. She has hit it long and straight all day.
Looks pretty comfortable right now as she marches her way off the 11th tee.
And we've got final round coverage of the Mitsubishi Electric Classic from Duluth, Georgia, the TPC Sugarloaf. Stephen Ames leads Kenny Perry, Billy Andre, Grant Jobe, and Bob Tway, among others. Going into the final round, Bob Papa, Hall of Fame member Lanny Watkins, and our PGA Tour Champions crew brings that to you. How about that answer for Su-Yeon Jang?
That was exactly what she needed, and I think she knew that she had made a mess up with the last one, but she knew nothing. She hadn't lost the tournament yet. There's no need to get flustered, no need to get stressed. Still lots of golf to be played, and she is still hitting the ball well. She can still putt, and I think that you just have to draw on those experiences that you had in the previous few days to get you through one of those tough holes.
Well, they now make the turn toward the back 9, and both have good memories. Cristie Kerr shot 29 yesterday, and Su-Yeon Jang is 7 under on the back 9 this week.
Exactly. I think for Kerr's part, she just has to keep applying that pressure. She has to walk in those putts in, keep hitting quality shots into the green. The fact that Kerr didn't hit a good shot to that green might have freed up Jang into being able to hit a quality shot in as well. There was no pressure on her from Cristie on that particular hole.
You see the replica of the Lotte World Tower. The trophy is a replica as well, a 9-pound statue. And Jerry, I wonder if she feels like 9 pounds has been lifted off her after that one. So with the lead once again, let's see how Su-Yeon Jang is going to handle it here. She's been driving it nearly flawlessly this week.
Well, and we've talked a lot about her caddy. Apparently, he is one of the best caddies in Korea. Played on the Korean tours, professional himself. So he would know exactly what she's going through in this situation.
Looking anxiously toward the right. Look out.
Ooh.
Very close. Stacey Lewis hit it in the water there earlier. And we're waiting for word.
Lydia Ko hit one in there as well. Not today, but previous round.
Yes.
There are a couple of holes like that at Colleen, aren't there, where the water pinches in. You just have to be extra careful. It is in the water. Again, that's going to be in one, out in two. We've seen players scramble for pars, but now Cristie Kerr one shot back.
Swing.
Right down Broadway.
Jang still running off the tee, so she still feels under pressure to catch up with this group that is in front of them. You can see they're playing their second shots now, so they're about half a hole ahead of where they should be.
When you think about Jang, Karen, all the misses are to the right right now, and that to me is just a byproduct of the pressure. She hasn't missed a single shot to the left, and yet cannot get the club quite released going through it. Good opportunity here for Sharp.
I can fly this 105 sometimes, so it's perfect, right? Yes. Downwind.
You hear her saying 105. Her actual yardage is 109, and so she's taking some off for being downwind. Let's see if she can control the spin on this shot.
Okay, that's something she said she wanted to do in her interview.
That's a beautiful shot.
2 in a row.
Right below the hole. Okay, she'll be looking straight up at it from about 5 feet. Up at 15, second shot for Danielle Kang. Drove the ball, skipped it through the bunker, which was a good break. Didn't end up under the lip. Uphill lie. That's a beautiful shot. So Kang, who is running out of real estate at Colina, has to pretty much birdie them all, I would think, coming in.
Stacey Lewis off a bogey at the par 5 13th, has a chance to get one back. Will it spin? Clearly trying to get it to that back hole location. And that's the tee shot inside the hazard line. As you can see there at the 10th hole for our leader by 1. Would you even... There's no reason to hit it, is there? Unless you think you can get it up there closer, Jerry?
Well, the one reason, you can get it out of there quite easily. Hood to face on a wedge, take a pretty good swing at it, aim it down. You're not in any real danger of leaving it in there if you do that. Where she would drop would be on a side hill lie in the rough if she took 2 club lengths. If she wanted to go back, keeping that spot between her and the hole, she'd have to go back quite a ways. So she can get 30 or 40 yards out of this without blinking. Problem is you really can't control it, and there is trouble on the other side of the fairway in the form of some, I don't even know what you call those little palmy looking shrubs that will eat up a golf ball.
I think the prospect of a shorter shot in as well might be quite kind of appealing.
What would you do?
Yeah, please, back here.
If I think I could make contact with the ball, absolutely give it a go.
I have to get it up in the air for the elbow. It should be perfect. It should be flying 45, right?
Yeah.
You can hear Cristie Kerr in the fairway.
Yeah, just a full one, right?
Yes.
It's so risky. I'm just thinking about Stacey Lewis making par after hitting it at the water and taking the drop. But it took a near perfect shot from Lewis.
And she's been hitting the ball really well already.
Yeah. Kerr going to be first here?
She is 157 yards. Great position here, middle of the fairway. Almost straight down breeze. hole placed on 10, so she has room to land it on and still get it to stop, even though it is down breeze. And she's not a high spinner of the golf ball. 8-iron.
I think if she hits this one on the green, somewhere close, I think Jang goes for it.
Right front edge.
That for birdie. And here's Jang. She is going to hit this out of the water.
I think I might have wanted to take that red stake out, though. Yep.
Now she can pick it up, clean it.
And Jerry made a great point. You're playing off of, ball below your feet, or you go further back. You can see she's playing it further back in her stance. She's trying to get a bit of angle, nice steepness into the ball. She does shallow it quite a bit anyway. Drops the club on the inside, so she does tend to get more water. But she managed to make enough contact with the ball.
Trying to make a splash with her first LPGA Tour title. Let's go to 13.
Third shot for Lydia. Got to get the ball back to that upper shelf and stop it there, which she does. That is a beauty. So many players have spun it back off that ridge, but sort of a dead-handed wedge there by Ko.
Stacey Lewis for birdie. Feels like she needs it, doesn't it? So she goes bogey par on the back-to-back par fives.
And really just lacking distance control with the wedges on those two shots.
Over 15, Danielle Kang. Big putt for a birdie at the par 4. That is right all the way. Back to 10.
And the third shot for our leader by 1.
118 yards remains to the hole. And on a good note, I think that little bit of trouble she was just in has calmed her down somehow. Her mannerisms are much more collected than they were for 3 holes running.
Hit a great second shot into 9, made birdie.
Should be the gap wedge here.
And another beauty. She'll have that for par. To stay at 17 under, Kerr will have a putt to get to 17 under.
Lena Sharp for a birdie at 11K.
It looks like there's a spike mark about 4 inches in front of the cup. And I don't know if she was trying to avoid that.
She cannot believe that ball didn't go right. She actually played it right at the spike mark. The putt was pretty much dead straight. Wasted opportunity for Sharp. She can't afford to do that. We'll be right back to Carolina.
We asked a group of young people when they thought they should start saving for retirement. Then we asked older people when they actually did start saving. This gap between when we should start saving and when we actually do is one of the reasons why too many of us aren't,
or at least at the moment, a share of the lead.
And turning left gently the whole way. Oh boy, just a little too much speed for that line.
She liked it, though.
Yeah, she hit it where she wanted to, just a little too firmly.
Jang and Kerr both with par putts coming up.
This is Lydia Ko over at 13 for a birdie. That is a beauty there. Great stroke by Ko. Pretty quietly up ahead. She has gotten it to 14 under. Going to trail by no more than 3, maybe even 2. All depends on this punt, which is not a kick in.
This would be a momentum sustainer, wouldn't it, Jerry?
Yes, it would indeed. After the birdie at 9, this one we did at 5 feet. Right edge, maybe a little more depending on the speed.
The par save at 4 was about a 10-footer and a watery par at the 10th. Into the hazard, in the water. Off the tee here at 10. She opted to play it from the water. The top of the ball was visible, punched it out, and now suddenly Cristie Kerr is the one who needs to make a putt to have the hole.
Certainly not a gimme here either. It has to move a little bit, right? Although there is a contrasting slope just past the hole from where she putted the first time, so this one doesn't look like it really turns.
No, this putt will not scare Cristie Kerr. I've played with her as her partner, and Lexi Thompson is a very successful partner to Cristie Kerr. She tells her partners, do not worry how far you hit the ball past it. I will always make the return.
There are a lot of players in this in contention. That had a little match play feel to it. And scrambling for Kang.
Just a small one. Maybe a little pull plus a little breeze pushing that to the left.
Safe enough play and in a good spot.
Elena Sharp, 46-year-old Canadian looking for her first win, will have that putt at the 12th to join Jang at 17 under at the Lotte. Sharp at the 12th for birdie and a share of the lead.
Got a great read off of In-Ji Chun. Oh, she gave it a little more borrow, Karen, because she saw In-Ji's putt peel off pretty hard to the right. And hers just stayed there. I wouldn't fault her for putting it that same way.
Easy three.
To 11.
Jang on the tee.
Downwind, clubbing back a bit. That's straight down the middle.
Yeah, that looked like a beautiful swing there, Jerry. Great rhythm and tempo. Released it nicely. Nothing going right about that one. Stacey Lewis at 15. Staring down a birdie here. Got to get this one back to the hole location. Okay. Has a chance. Not the easiest putt. Little bender to the right. Up to 16.
Danielle Kang for birdie at the par 3. She's tied for 4th. Had a 4th in Thailand earlier. Back to 11.
And Cristie Kerr gearing back also.
Yes, indeed. Oh, whoopsie there. Just a toe hook.
Another one left. Quick left. Be careful. Get down fast. It's out of bounds over at that road, but I don't believe the ball made it that far. Take a look at this transition. Karen, when it's too fast from the top for a righty, it almost always goes left.
Yep. And I think that's just a factor of trying to get a bit more out of it than you need to.
Shirts are just so bright this year.
Okay, well, there's a golf ball. You can see the hole, and there's a palm tree. Maybe she can just skirt it as we go back to Kang.
Well, if you're Danielle Kang, you have to make this, and then you have to go birdie, birdie. I mean, what wins this thing at this point, realistically, Karen?
Well, you can't forget you've got 2 par 5s coming up.
For the ones behind her.
Exactly. And then you have a couple of shortish holes too that still are allowing the players good opportunities with short clubs in their hands too. I think for Danielle, I think maybe the ship has sailed already. But she needs this to get a good result, and every single round under, every single shot under par that she can make is going to make more money, put her in a better spot on the money list.
Soul Honey Cup points. For par. Oh, wow. First drop shot of the day. Front 930 for Danielle Kang. She'll fall back to 13 under. 15.
Stacey Lewis for a birdie. Got to put this one outside the left edge. Did you get it high enough? No. Can't believe it. Now the second shot of Cristie Kerr, and is the tree an issue, Jerry?
Yeah, it is, but it's avoidable.
See a lot of dents in the side of that coconut tree right there. That has been struck by many golf balls.
Well, if she aims at just 5 to 10 feet right of the hole, it shouldn't be an issue if she hits there. She could. There is a clean line depending on the height as it passes the tree to get straight out the flagstick, but that would be risky. It's a pitching wedge from 128. Downwind, not going to be a full one.
Little sawed-off follow-through.
And a good shot. Really good shot.
Okay. Right below the hole. Kind of right in her distance. She is really good from that 10 to 12-foot range. That one probably closer to 12. Beautiful tee shot for the leader.
Just 92 yards remaining. And if you remember, just back one day, Mark, she hit a lot of these in-between wedge shots. Very, very close. And this one's pretty standard right here. No real major slopes around the hole. Pretty good lie. Pretty level anyway. Very low shot.
She loves to flight the ball low, and that was okay at best. She will putt first at the 11th green, but that's not what she had in mind.
When I approach a putt, I like to look at it from all angles, whether it's uphill, downhill, left to right, right to left. From then, I just focus on where I'm going to start it, how I'm going to roll it, and what speed it's going to make it into the hole. And I trust that I've looked at all angles and taken everything into account.
Manulife LPGA Classic returns for its 6th year to Cambridge, Ontario. Don't miss your chance to see the world's best women golfers. Come see why the LPGA is different. Purchase your tickets today at manulifeclassic.ca.
The stars of the LPGA tee it up in Ann Arbor. Join us when the LPGA returns to Michigan for their Volvic Championship, May 22nd through 28th at Travis Point Country Club. See the best female golfers in the world compete for $1.3 million. Enjoy the golf. Experience the event. There's something for everyone. Tickets and corporate opportunities are available. Visit volviclpga.com to learn more.
Back at 11, Jang for a birdie. Wow, dead center. One more revolution and that was in. Par for the leader. And maybe the sole leader only momentarily. Cristie Kerr with a chance. From above the 11th green. A lot of undulation in these greens at Colina, and one of the reasons the greens are so difficult is they are not big. They are relatively small in size, and when you put that much undulation in smaller greens, they become quite difficult.
You also got a bit of an idea from Su-Yeon's putt what this will do. Line not too dissimilar. Saw her bringing in her caddy. She consults with him from time to time on the putts. Not everyone. Brady Stockton himself, a fine player, as was mentioned earlier, that Su-Yeon's caddy is also a former professional. Brady's played some web.com, some mini tour golf, and originally took the job to try and fund his playing career. Mark, now he's talking about getting his amateur status back, because this pays pretty well caddying for Cristie.
Before you know it, he'll be flying in a private jet. Okay, got to be a little firm with this one, as she usually is.
Yeah, I really don't see anything break-wise in it. Bobbled a little early.
How about it? That was so predictable. Beautiful birdie by Cristie Kerr. Once again, she has caught Jang. Up to 14.
And Lydia Ko to get within 2 of the co-leaders. It's just almost unthinkable that she could even be in this thing.
I was about to say the same thing. When you think about where she was after the first day of play, and really the quality of play that she was producing out in the golf course, you're like, there's no way she's going to even be in contention, lucky to make the cut. But here she is, doing what Lydia Ko does.
She was 10 shots back, a couple of holes in today.
This will be huge for her moving forward from this point in terms of confidence with the short game and the putting.
They go across the tracks. Got to wait a second. But beat the train. The hot-footed over there to the 12th tee.
It's got a schedule to keep. Just like the underground train tube, always running on time.
Cristie Kerr was in the final grouping back in 2012 in the final round as well. It's Kerr and Jang at 17. Elena Sharp, 1 back.
And in little trouble here at 13. It's going to be her 3rd shot from the left rough, and you cannot even see the ball.
Mark, she did not master the art of a good layup on this hole. This is some of the thickest rough on the course.
It is the most underrated and unappreciated shot in golf, Kay. A layup on a par 5. Players just do not pay enough attention to it typically.
It's like 4 yards. Yeah? Yep. I agree with that. I don't like 60. No, I don't like 60.
It sounds like she doesn't want to hit her lob wedge. She's going to take her 56-degree, grip down it, and just try to gouge it out.
Camera tower there is her target, but I don't think she got it on the target line.
Well, that was pretty well done to just get it on the proper level.
She looks happy with it, Kay. Up at 17 now. Little dogleg right, par 4. Pretty much a hole that I would think if somebody wants to win this championship, they'll have to make a birdie here. Daniel Kang with a chance.
And our co-leader again, Cristie Kerr on the tee at the 12th.
Playing 139 Vegas, an 8-iron, breeze from the right. It won't be a big one.
11 is where she got it going yesterday. 7 birdies in her last 8. She's coming off a birdie at the 11th now. Come back a little, won't it?
It's going to hit that tee.
Maybe a lot. Well, after the double bogey at the 8th, Su-Yeon Jang came right back with a phenomenal birdie at 9th. 2 very well struck shots, made the short putt. See how she responds here now that Kerr has tied her again.
Also an 8-iron. she has to take even more off it than Cristie did.
I don't like it for her having to take off so much for the shots. That just adds to that missed right potential. She drops it in so much from the inside, and when you're trying to ease it in there's no way you can send the club face back to get it square. She's a much better player when she's hitting fuller shots.
Pitches forward. And again, these aren't the only two players with a chance to win, but it does feel a smidge like match play. Cristie Kerr, Su-Yeon Jang tied for the lead at the Lotte Championship. It's a championship Saturday in Hawaii. To the right.
You can say that again. A big sweeping left to right breaker, and fast.
Got out of position with her second shot, played it into left-hand rough, and then hit a pretty good shot. But once you get the bad angle at Colina, you're in trouble.
Birdie putts for our co-leaders at 12, and it would appear that Cristie Kerr is first to go, Jerry.
I couldn't really tell until just now when Su-Yeon took a side stage seat to watch Cristie prepare. Giving this one a really long read here.
You saw the margin for Su-Yeon Jang. It was 4 over Elena Sharp. It was 5 at one point over Cristie Kerr, with whom she's playing. You relish this, don't you, if you're Cristie Kerr, the chance to go first?
Oh, absolutely. She knows that, as in any kind of match play situation, not that this is particularly match play, but certainly for these two playing, that's what it's going to feel like to them. They're almost in their own little bubble, in their own little world on that golf course right now. And Cristie loves this moment.
She was a young player trying to win her first event. She was playing with Jane Crafter, our colleague in Sacramento. Struggled coming down the stretch, but got it done. Another good 3.5 feet left for par. That was back in Sacramento in 2002. 13.
Hyun-Ji Chun playing with Sharp. This for birdie to get to -15.
A little slider for her third birdie.
Okay, she's still got a chance. And if Danielle King wants to have a chance, she's got to make this one. This is 17. That's a clutch putt there. So if she gets to 14 under, she will have to make a 3 at 18 and then hope. Jutanagarn, take a look at her name right there. She just birdied 14 to get the -3 for the day. She's now within 3 shots.
And back at 12, Jerry, can she do it again? After being tied, can she regain the lead?
Wouldn't bet against her. Although she signaled, she thought it was falling left. Her caddy signaled, he thought it was falling right. Let's just go straight. Slightly uphill. That was never on line, obviously, because it missed the hole, but that was well right where she was aiming it.
And she may be smiling there, but there was a little bit of frustration in the way she went to tap that in, and in a dangerous way. I hate to see that.
Kerr for par in a moment. First,
Sharp for her par. Okay. That wasn't going quite fast enough, but it went in.
And back at 12 to stay tied for the lead, Cristie Kerr. You remember, back in 2002, it was our 129th start. She had come out with such promise. What we had said in '94, she made her debut as a high school kid. She was a high school player on the boys' high school team at Sunset High School in Miami. There was no girls' team, but It had been a long time coming when she finally got that first victory. Jane Crawford, with whom she played, said, I think the floodgates are going to open. And they have 18 wins in 2 majors and a solid par at the 12th. 6 holes to play, tied for the lead with Su-Yeon Jang looking for her first LPGA Tour title. We're at the 16th now, the par 3, and Stacey Lewis for par. Earlier, I think I said rather indelicately, a 69 event losing streak. It's not the best way to say it. You don't really talk about losing streaks unless you're talking about a great player, do you?
No.
Or winless droughts. Okay, the par 5 14th, 1 behind our co-leaders. It's Elaine Sharkey.
I don't think no matter how well she hits it, she won't be able to get there in 2. And that one will make it a definite that she won't get there in 2.
A hole behind on the 13th tee, our final pairing mark.
All right, a little bit of a flashing yellow light here, Jerry. I would think you can see the water on the right there. Just have to be a little careful with this tee shot.
Yeah, well, Cristie does miss it both ways, but typically when she gets a little quick, it's a fan right with the irons and the toe hook with the woods. But she hasn't done that very often this week, only once today.
Not very often you see a player back off and hit a 3-wood or something on a par 5, but you wonder if you shouldn't just decide on the tee whether it's a 2-shot hole or a 3-shot hole. If it's a 3-shot hole, what difference does it make what 2 shots you get to your layup zone?
That's the popular line, left center of the fairway. A little bit of roll out of it. I still think that's going to be too far back.
Okay, yeah, Jang now is the co-leader. Follow this shot from our airplane.
She didn't look too pleased with it, but that's all right.
Well, and this hole's playing just 7 yards longer than the first hole. She was able to get to the first in 2. So we'll see what she does.
Beautiful Saturday afternoon on the island of Oahu. 2 share the lead at Kolina.
The smells, the color.
And it's been a terrific day for Danielle Kang. She's 7 under with a second shot here.
Hole location today in the lower left portion of this green in a little bowl, but dangerous for that.
I wonder if she thought she had a chance to win this thing and was trying to closing birdie. Back at 13.
Co-leader. Su-Yeon Jang's second shot at the par 5.
And just a layup, 250 front, a little breeze, slightly up, a little wet fairway, 267 hole. So just a layup and going with a hybrid. And doing it nicely. Well,
that's going to end up just short of the ground under repair. Looks to be kind of a wettish area, but of course it will be lift clean in place, so she can move it a club length, get herself a nice lie. Now Cristie Kerr.
Same exact distance.
Following it quickly, and that's why She's a little further back. But that'll be a good spot. One of these years, I'd love to see him move that tee up at 13 on Saturday for the final round and give the players a crack at that green then too. Lydia Ko for yet another birdie.
What do you think, Mark? Maybe?
Maybe. Sounds like Vern Lundquist. Maybe.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Okay, second shot for Lewis at 17. Each to make a 3. Not the best place to leave it if you want to make a 3, but a chance. Got to figure one of the two leaders is going to get to 18 under. That's the magic number at least, I think.
Elena Sharp at the 14th with the third shot of this par 5.
From the rough again, but this time a much better lie. Awkward angle from the right-hand side to that back right hole. Going with a 50-degree wedge, launching it high. Oh, what a shot. Very nice.
She said in her interview that she really liked playing from the rough because she was able to tell how it was going to spin.
Well, and it wasn't going to, yeah, she wasn't going to zip things back off like she would from the fairway.
I know.
She had a couple like that late yesterday. It spun all the way back to the front of the green. All right, so here's a fourth shot at the par 4 18th for Danielle Kang. And normally you don't think on a course like this about posting a number. I'm thinking of Lydia Ko, but with the specter of a big number at 18, who knows? Take a look at the Solheim Cup standings, and Danielle Kang is in position to get some points here. But that's a putt for bogey coming up.
It is, and there's a long way to go still before the final selection, which is after the Ricoh Women's British Open. Lots of golf to be played. Angela Stanford will be looking to get herself back on that team.
Danielle Kang with some serious match play success in her career. And a reminder that the most exciting event at women's golf returns to the U.S. at Des Moines Golfing Country Club. The 15th Solheim Cup comes your way this August exclusively on Golf Channel and NBC. In-Ji Chun is not out of it. 2 shots back, Kay.
Got it to within 30 yards of the front of the green, 54 to the hole. And is she going to make this dance a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Looking like 2 birdies in a row.
So In-Ji Chun will have that to get to within 1. Finished second here last year. Back at 13.
Cristie Kerr with a tee in the ground. That's where the ball originally lay. Fifth cleaning place. She can move it about 6 inches left. Jang is up ahead by about 40 yards, I would say, Jerry.
Yeah, maybe a little less, but Jang's going to have more of a pitch shot, and I think a more difficult shot than Cristie. Hers is 63 yards. She can play a 3/4 sand wedge, or even get it back there with her most lofted wedge. She carries 4 of them. The only thing you got to worry about with a little bit of an uphill lie, playing uphill and into the slight breeze, is spinning it a bit too much if she goes with that lob wedge and bringing it back to the front edge.
Good angle here. Can see just how severe this 13th green is. Totally pitches from back to front.
3-2 green. I was speaking with Christine Bentley on the practice team. She was reminding Brady to remind her that with her in-between white shots, go very dead-handed all lines.
Kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get closer. Boy, a trade wind might have blown that one right in the hole, but a good chance for a 4. Up to 14.
Couple of birdie putts for the penultimate pairing for Sharp.
She set it up with that great wedge. Can she convert?
She's played great there.
She has, and when you consider that she hasn't really been in this situation that often,
Great point.
the chances that she has had, she's really learned from.
Being on the big stage in Rio, playing in her homeland, finishing 4th. Gotta believe those are helping. Back to 13.
We have a 3-way tie for the first time at the Lotte Championship now. Third shot for Jang.
Just a little inside 40 yards, and she's going to try and land it up there. And it's still a sketchy lot even after taking club length.
It's going to come back.
Yeah, probably. Probably good question on Cristie. Either way, they're both very impressive.
Those are good shots.
Great reply.
She will putt first.
Inji Chun to get within one.
Back-to-back birdies. And her Flying Dumbo support team is loving what she's doing of late.
She's now within one. 17.
She's not within one. Just a little too big a gap right now for Stacy Lewis. All due to that even par round of 72 yesterday. Produced a lot of disappointment, especially on the back nine.
Bogey putt here for Danielle Kang. Second shot went in the water.
She's going to give Julie Inkster quite a bit to think about, isn't she, this season?
She won consecutive U.S. Women's Amateurs like her hopeful captain, the woman she hopes to play for, Julie Inkster. Julie won 3 in a row. Back at 13.
Jang will be first.
Maybe a little bit delicate here because it is still downhill some. But I wouldn't expect her to miss this or even come close to missing it.
She's been really good on these thus far. This would be for the temporary outright lead. She saw something, or something caused her to back off. Just make sure of the line. Maybe inside right, Gary?
Well, it looks like she's aiming to the left side of the hole.
Okay, better not get it outside the hole. Okay, dead straight. That's good for first birdie on the backside for Jang. She gets to minus 18. Selena Sharp on the 15th tee.
Not a long hole. It's about positioning, and she's positioned that well on the right-hand side to the back left for the back left hole location.
Chun is also in the fairway. Selena Sharp waved goodbye on her way past. Cristie Kerr eyeing what she has left of her birdie attempt at 13 now. Different angle than Jang. Wasn't 2 feet from Jang's ball, but a different angle.
Well, you Karen referenced it earlier, you never see Cristie miss a putt like this any time of this length, much less in this situation. But she never takes them for granted either.
She's meticulous, especially in her alignment. She's never misaligned. Okay, a couple of birdies. So Jang and Kerr have gotten themselves to minus 18. They are atop the leaderboard as the Lotte Championship boils up.
just made birdie at the 13th as well. So they are tied at 18 under. Elena Sharp still has a chance for the first victory of her LPGA Tour career. Don't write off In-Ji Chun or the world #1 Lydia Ko, who still has an outside chance. Let's go to the tee at the 14th now.
And one of our co-leaders, Cristie Kerr.
Hill into the
Is one of our co-leaders, 22-year-old Su-Yeon Jang. A sponsor's invitation with a chance to win.
She can't get there, but she's trying to get as close as possible. 246 to the front edge, uphill the whole way, very soft fairway. Maybe get it to the beginning of that upslope. Right there.
How about that lead?
I mean, she only has the 3 wedges in her bag, so you hope it's going to be a good number for her to get that close.
And now Kerr.
It looks like less club for Cristie that way. That definitely is a hybrid. So she'll leave it behind Jang once again. Job #1 is simply get it in the fairway. And she's done that.
Again, we are playing preferred lies as we have all week. If you're in the fairway, closely mown area, you can pick it up and clean it. To 17, I beg your pardon, 16, and this is the second shot for Lydia Ko.
That was pretty impressive. She had a lot of bunker to cover, not a great deal of green.
She was the last sponsor's invite to win on the LPGA Tour.
Over at 15, this is In-Ji Chun for a birdie to get to -17 within a shot of the lead. She must have thought that was going to go to the right. It did not. Up to 18.
And Min-Ji Lee, like Danielle Kang, second shot in the water, but a scrambling bogey. Had a nice defense. One of 2 wins last year. 15 again.
Big putt for Elena Sharp here, Kay.
Most definitely. Every single putt, every single shot is so important, and there's a leaderboard short left of the screen. I don't think Elena has taken a look at it, but I'm pretty sure her caddy has, and it's updated. This is a tricky putt, this back part of the green. The screen is almost wavy-like, and the way they've indicating with their hand motions and what I saw, it's a mini double breaker. Left at the start and then back to the right at the end.
She has played this stretch of the golf course well. Played 15 birdied it twice out of 3 rounds and 16 birdied that hole twice out of 3 rounds. So she likes this little corner of Ko-Elena.
It's always good to play well coming down the stretch, isn't it?
Indeed it is.
And you definitely play off those memories. There's stretches of holes that just fit your eye. And then when you have good numbers, you keep building upon that.
Always keep in mind where the mountains are. The Waianae Range is to her right. The immediate ocean to her left. That is always the overwhelming break if you have any indecision out here. And the mountain pushed it to the left, and the ocean dragged it that way. Had a chance, but it was kind of on the low side the entire roll. So a 4 for Sharp. 3 holes to play, or maybe more, she hopes.
Third shots for our final pairing at the par 5 14th. And another bug in the eye of Cristie Kerr.
The gnats have come out in full force on these 2 par 5s. Must just be the side of the course. There's some vegetation around here. It's been that way for 4 straight days. This shot, 76 yards, very similar to the one on the previous hole in terms of the contour on the green, although this one's a little bit longer. Needs to spin. There's a backstop there.
Another beauty. Again, she played the last on 8 holes and 7 under yesterday, and trying to put another streak like that again today. Oh, she pulls a little mini Sergio on us. But this is what the tee shot can do rest for Stacy Lewis. She hit the cart path. And this is her second shot. And look at this one. Getting better. Well, for a brief moment, she was in this thing, wasn't she?
She was, and then she just let a couple of putts go by, didn't take advantage of the par 5s, 13 and 14.
Yeah, she went bogey par on those back-to-back par 5s. Okay, once again, Cristie Kerr has applied the pressure. Let's see how the untested, at least in terms of the LPGA, untested 22-year-old Jang responds.
So ever since the double bogey at 8, she has been cool, calm, and collected. It's 53 yards.
Hit a beauty to a tight spot here yesterday.
Not bad, but that's going to be delicate downhill.
She will go first. Take a look at our last 7 non-LPGA Tour members to win. You see some players who've gone on to greatness, some others who've opted not yet to come over to the LPGA.
Su-Yeon decided not to play LPGA. Teresa Liu was a member of the LPGA, decided to go and play over on the Japan Tour. But Lydia Ko, Hyuju Kim, In-Ji Chun, Brooke Henderson, all major champions.
And of course, Lydia was just 15 years old. The point of this is we never know when someone that we're watching, like Su-Yeon Jang, is the next great player. We don't know.
Exactly.
This could be a player who, at the moment, 68th in the world rankings, Jerry, could be 68th with a bullet. She wins this one.
Well, and accomplish the pretty much lifelong goal that every young female has when they first pick up a golf club, and that is playing the LPGA Tour. Like I said yesterday, the grandest stage in all of female sports.
Birdie putts here for our final pairing. They're tied for the lead at 18 under. Elena Sharp is one back. In-Ji Chun, another back from that.
Everybody you speak to on the range, all the other caddies, players that have played with her, says she's the real deal.
You have a read here, Jerry?
My first instinct, I looked at it from exactly where they're standing now, was just outside the right. I'm now 20 yards away, and it looks very straight. So my read doesn't matter.
This to put the pressure on, with 4 holes to go. That is a good 4.5, 5 feet past. And Cristie Kerr will have a putt for the outright lead in a moment. But first,
second shot for Ko at 17. It's a good one. Chance for Lydia Ko.
At the 18th, Stacy Lewis to post 14 under. 66. May not be enough. What a start. A 30 on the front nine, and certainly something to build on. And now Cristie Kerr with a putt for the outright lead to get to 19 under. Su-Yeon Jang has a par putt of her own coming up.
You don't see this very often out of Cristie. She'll line it up once or twice, but that's 4 times now.
She's going to go over $18 million in career earnings this week. But right now, the only thing on her mind is a 19th career victory. And for the first time in the last couple of days, Su-Yeon Jang is not leading this tournament. It's Cristie Kerr alone at 19 under. That is her 5th birdie of the day. And does that make this putt a little longer?
It does, and you could see it on Su-Yeon Jang's face when she was looking at Cristie as she was getting ready to play a putt. She had that long extended blink like, what have I just done?
She's opened the door. But still 4 holes to go after this. This for par. Oh boy. A 2-shot swing. She was bogey free through her first 59 holes. But now a bogey at 6, a double at the 8th, and a 3-putt bogey at the 14th. And with 4 holes to go, suddenly Cristie Kerr has taken a 2-shot lead. They go to one of the easiest holes on the course, the 15th at Ko'olina, with Kerr by 2. Tee, and amazingly, I'm going to say it, the leader. Cristie Kerr, tee shot at par 4.
Wide fairway, but this one's heading a little left.
It's been her miss. It should stop on the upslope. Head to 16.
And Elena Sharp's second shot.
Pulled her hybrid off the tee. Really tough shot. Long bunker shot, green sloping away. She pulled that one off pretty nicely.
She's tied for second at 17 under. She'll have that for par. Back to 15.
It's the cleanest air in the world, but it's got to be suffocating for Jang right now.
Oh, this 2-headed left mark.
And that will stop short of the bunker. That will be on the upslope also. She began the day with a 3-shot lead. She now trails by 2. Up at 17, Ko for a birdie to get to minus 16, which she does. She has to birdie 18 to have any kind of a chance. There's how they stand. Cristie Kerr, who began the day 3 shots behind, is now 2 ahead. And while we have a moment, we go down to Tom.
Mark, thanks so much. Danielle, before we get into talking about the round, just clarifying the 18th hole. We saw you drop it outside of the drop zone. Tell us about why you could do that.
So I dropped it inside the drop zone. The ball landed on the line, which considers a drop zone. And then that's why I called the rules official. And Bo also clarified that I'm in the fairway, so there's a little clean in place. So then I moved it over a little bit more.
And I'm glad you said that, because a few people have asked how you managed to do that, so that's a good explanation. Talk about today. I mean, you were 6 under par through 8 holes. At that point, were you really starting to think this could be a sort of a record-breaking day?
It did actually cross my mind how many under I was, but my putter was really hot this morning, and I just wanted to keep the momentum going and just wanted to shoot the best round possible I could shoot today and see where I ended up.
Did you get a little bit of ahead of yourself? I know that putt at 10, we thought if this goes in, it could be really special.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a momentum killer. I thought it was going to break left to right from the other side, then right to left from top. So I played a straight, and then just kind of the grain took it. So, but on 12, I missed the chip, but the par putt was changing back the momentum and trying to make birdie, and made birdie on 13, and
So it was a very up and down day. I started off really hot though, so I liked that a lot.
It was a good finish because you're inside the top 20, so Solheim Cup points. You're trying to make your first team. You're going to go on vacation now. We'll see you in Texas. Keep up the good form. Thanks very much, Danielle. Let's get back out to the action here in the final round, and we'll pick up that final pairing.
At the 15th, Cristie Kerr will be first. Neither player in the fairway here, both in the left-hand rough. She is right on the tournament scoring record, remember? Although that's a little deceiving, I think, because this has been preferred lies all 4 days.
Good jump, that's too much.
13, 14. Touch off.
Yeah, a little off.
I gotta aim it kind of at the right side of the top of that skinny tree.
Yes. Good awareness of the lie. Make the slope, I mean.
You guys move over just 1 yard, please. You guys just move over. Thank you. It's a little flowering bush.
Yeah. Perfect.
I think it's a little bit of a shooter break.
Rooster in the background, a little late getting up today. After all, it's Saturday in the islands. All right. Get a severe uphill lie for Cristie. Can only see the top of the flag, Jerry?
No, I don't think she can see anything, actually, when she's in her posture, setting up over 119 yards. The cleaner of the two lies by a long shot. Brady said that probably is going to be a little bit of a squirt, but not nearly as much as I think Su-Yeon's can be.
Get a pretty good, clean hit on it, and she does. That's a beauty. You can always tell when she is walking after a shot. If it's a putt, it's going in. If it's a shot, it's getting close.
Well, this feels like a must-make now, Kay. Sharp for par.
Most definitely. Right to left breaking putt. Wow, that's a par and up and down sandy to remember.
She's hanging in there. 17 under, 2 shots back. Kerr has a really good look at birdie at the 15th. Can Jang answer?
Well, the shot's 115 yards. Also severe uphill lie, but this one's sitting well down.
That's a nice shot, too. Not quite as good as Cristie's. Should be Jang putting first when we come back to Ko-Olina in the final round of the Lotte Championship.
Stella Artois has partnered with us at water.org to help provide access to clean water to women and their families in the developing world. We can be the generation remembered for ending the global water crisis once and for all.
You gotta wonder what's going through his head.
That hot dog was good. Really should have gotten one at the turn.
He's looking at it again. What is he thinking?
Man, these Skechers Go Golf shoes sure are comfortable. I bet I could play another 18.
Go Golf from Skechers Performance. Comfortably worn by Matt Kuchar.
The alpha player, would you say?
This is her 4 hybrid.
Sorry. Laugh at myself for a minute here. Too much in my head going on.
Good focus here.
Yeah, I got to simplify.
Yeah. Right at it.
She doesn't do the inner monologue. She just lets you know where she is and what she's thinking.
A little breeze in, and from the right, opposite of Evan Norby is blowing on this hole. She's picking a spot left of it, just at the left side of the TV tower, 10 feet left of the hole. It's going to struggle to get this all the way back to the hole, though. And that started right. Staying there.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting, she says, and then she lets the turf what she know what she thinks about it.
Elena Sharp with a long one at 17.
And she's pretty much got to finish birdie to have any chance. That was from 27 feet. Pretty good stroke, but low percentage of making that one.
Back to 16th tee.
And suddenly trailing by 3. Su-Yeon Jang.
Standing by where she walked off the previous green, waiting for Cristie to putt, and yeah, she definitely looked very introspective and like she has let herself down today. But there's still time, and she has to know that, Karen.
She does. It's very difficult, though, to pick yourself up when you've been ahead most of the day to all of a sudden you're behind, to change your perspective and thinking on the course.
That sounded a little low on the club face, also right of the hole.
Cristie Kerr was 5 shots back early in this final round. She is now 3 shots ahead thanks to this putt that she walks in at the 15th, her 3rd in a row. Some long putts for birdie, though, coming up for our final pairing. Rounds here, the Lotte. She's tied for 2nd. She would need help if she's going to win this thing, but how important were these last 2 days for Lydia Ko?
Oh, it's been huge. I mean, her ball striking has been improving. She's been doing great with that. Her putting had suffered, but as you can see from these last 2 rounds, boy, has she ever got that back on track too.
24 putts in the 3rd round, 22 today. And here's our leader by 3, and Jerry, how tough?
Well, she basically has to skirt that right fringe the whole way up there, doesn't she? It should throw it left off the shoulder. This is all about speed right now. She would love just something she didn't have to work for. But like Karen mentioned earlier, she's not afraid of it either. She does run it 4 or 5 feet by. Getting the speed right here is imperative.
There you see she trailed by 5 after 3 holes. She now leads by 3.
Great for speed, but not dead yet.
Tough birdie attempt from off the green for Jang in a moment. Let's go to the tee at the 18th, and Inji Chun,
who has just stayed in the game. She has an amazing ability to just stay relaxed and calm even when things aren't quite going her way, and lo and behold, 4 birdies on this back 9. And that's a gorgeous tee shot. Claire's using the driver here to get it down as close as they can. Years past, it's been so firm they've hit other clubs off the tee.
back to go to 16 in the 2nd shot for Jang.
Has to fly it about halfway there just to land it on the green from this angle, just like that.
And going back to Jerry's point, she can't feel sorry for herself right now. She has to be determined. She has to channel that fight.
That looked like the shot of a player trying to make it, not trying to get up and down and save her position. Well, Kay, it has been a really impressive week, hasn't it, for Elena Sharp?
It is, and just one more solid hole, and she is en route to potentially a career best finish. And Karen, more importantly, proving that she can hit quality shots when the heat is on.
Exactly, Kay. That's huge for her.
She won't be able to lift clean in place, but as Karen pointed out, she's enjoyed hitting it from the rough. Gives her a little extra cushion. Our aerial coverage brought to you by the Hawaiian Islands. Mark, do we have to go?
Nope. Not if you don't want to.
Okay. Send for our things. You can see why you've stayed all these years. Now a huge putt here for Cristie Kerr. Her lead is 3, but this is for par. There you go. No bogeys in the last 50 holes, and we mentioned it earlier. Only 2 over par holes since the second round of the A&A. Talking about 6 rounds almost.
That's pretty incredible.
Something magical about a 3-shot lead, too. With a 2-shot lead, you can have a birdie bogey swing. 3 shots is just so much more of a comfortable margin.
She's looking pretty straight at this, it appears. Might be right side of the hole.
For birdie, for par, it doesn't matter. Cristie Kerr continues to pour them in. And a huge par save there at the 16th. And her lead remains 3, now with 2 holes to go. And Jerry, we talked about this at the start of the show, and yesterday we remarked it's not just the shots that Su-Yeon Jang has hit, it's the courage to hit a lot of shots. 13 and 14 yesterday, going for tough hole locations. That was an aggressive play of a player that looked like trying to make it.
Well, when she made that statement out of the box today, hitting the first green and 2 on a shot that really not a lot of people would even have tried from the right rough, I thought she was going to have one of those days to remember, Grant. And as it is, she ran into a buzzsaw and opened the door a little bit for Cristie Kerr.
Well, it's not over yet. But it is a 3-shot lead with 2 holes to play for Cristie Kerr, looking for her 19th career victory.
I realize that $100,000 is not exactly a fortune.
It's the Lotte Championship final round. That is the leader, Cristie Kerr. She's on the tee at 17 with a 3-shot lead.
It's hot. Yeah, it's still 250. It's not going much faster. That's down the left side. Yeah, palm. You got even more than that. Yes.
All right. Finish it in between those 2 palms. I like that right palm right there.
Yeah, perfect.
Just letting it all hurt.
Yes.
Well, Mark, she told me the idea of pulling back a little bit to not go through the fairway. The breeze should be helping. It's also a little from the left. The right palm she's aiming at is the right center of the fairway from the tee. If she hits it far enough, could easily run down that hill through the fairway. I don't think that's a concern right now. She didn't even watch that reach the apex.
Yeah, very nice. Right to the bottom should be a pretty flat lie there. Pretty good lie. Of course, she can move it at club length. Terrific round by Cristie Kerr. She is 6 under par for today's final round. This young lady right here, Jang, is just even par. Next worst score on the first 15 of the leaderboard is -3. You're going to get trampled if you shoot even par in the final round on a day like today. It's not over yet, though.
Well, it's time to see who has been up to the challenge presented by Prudential. Take a guess. For birdie at the 11th, Cristie Kerr. And then, 3rd shot at the par 5 13th. She went first, ahead of Jang, with whom she was tied. And then at the par 5 14th, after she had made that one, Jang had made one as well. And again, she goes first, and again, she hits a beauty. She would take the outright lead, a two-shot swing after a three-putt from Jang. And then at 15 to make it a three-shot lead. Up to the challenge indeed, brought to you by Prudential. Cristie Kerr is 13 under for her last 24 holes.
Also a really good second one.
And she hasn't missed a putt of any consequence in those holes.
And I think we can look back on the 6th hole when Cristie first smelled a weakness in Jang, really her opponent for today.
To the 18th, and we mentioned it, Kay, Elena Sharp has enjoyed hitting it out of this manageable rough.
Not this time. A chunk of mud underneath and to left of the ball. And Karen, that's what created that right-to-right shot.
Better there, though, than the other side.
Good point.
True.
We've seen a couple in the water from some of our final pairings. 36-year-old Elena Sharp in position for her career best finish. She'll need to get up and down to guarantee that. A 64 for Lydia Ko. And now Inji Chun, not out of it, needs a birdie.
It's in between 7 and 6 iron. Went with the 6.
It'll be tricky, but not impossible. We saw Inby Park hit a putt from up there a couple of years ago. Didn't make it, but was able to get it close.
Again, lift clean in place all 4 days here at the Lotte Championship, and Cristie Kerr taking advantage of hitting yet another fairway.
She's driven the ball pretty well. A couple of misses to the left. Actually, Jang has driven the ball well also. You're right about the 6th hole, Karen, but there's a couple of things that Jang didn't do today. One is she didn't manage her game properly at 8, where she made a double bogey. That was a critical mistake. Jang also didn't hole a putt really at a time that would put any kind of statement into Cristie Kerr. She just wasn't able to knock an iron close and have a kick-in birdie, or really to make a long putt and send a signal. But that's what you expect. Got an 18-time winner on the LPGA, Cristie Kerr.
584. It's not smoked, but it's just pretty good.
Yeah, let's just finish it a couple feet right of it.
Okay, so it's a 3-shot deficit.
Yeah.
Sharp has missed a green up at 18.
Yeah, perfect.
Would need to hole her 3rd shot.
The dies get off me. Okay.
Yep.
Jang needs to at least pick up a shot here, and of course Chun would have to hole hers from the back of the green at 18, I believe.
This from 89 yards, a little bit of a downhill lie. Only real mistake is short or left here. That's why Brady told her a few feet right of the hole's fine. This should be gap wedge. And it's going to be plenty of club. And a good shot.
There's 2 parts to every golf shot, Jerry. There's planning and execution, and she does them both impeccably. You have to plan the shot properly. She did there, and she executed then pretty much where she was aiming. Jang needs to hit one close here.
Or better. Yeah, I don't think Birdie would even do it against Cristie. You never know. 18's a tough one. This, though, 79 yards and a little more of a severe downhill lie. 58 degrees is her most lofty wedge. I don't know if you can just quite generate enough spin from this lie as low as she brings it in. Clipped it nicely.
Oh, took a huge first bounce. That was a kaboing. Not what she expected at all, and she can't believe it. Cristie Kerr can. She's got a 3-shot lead.
Today's coverage is brought to you by Lotte, enriching your life. The new Volvic Vibe, an ultra-soft tour ball for any swing speed. Feel the vibe. And by Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable.
Right all the way.
Cristie was in quick behind it to see what it did, as she is on a very similar line.
Good view from above the 17th green there. That's the 18th tee to the right. So Cristie Kerr, boy, give her the exact line. You got to figure this is no worse than 50-50 she would make it now. She's, as I said before, just made everything the last couple of days. Wouldn't expect somebody to make a 22-footer. But if you were to pick somebody to putt it for you, it would be this lady right here.
Especially when it matters.
Sarcastically, she says, "Get in there." It's the widest margin she's missed one yet.
We're singing her praises, and she hits the horse by the day.
And it was good distance control on it, though, so shouldn't be any harm. She will head to the 18th tee with a 3-shot lead, unless somebody holds one up ahead at that 18th green. A lot on the line for Jang, though, now. She is in a 4-way tie for second. There are 4 players at -17. Anybody that could climb out of that tie into a solo second, that's a big difference.
And her miss-hit putts have always been right, and this one turns just a little right.
Okay, no miss-hit there. The only player in at 17 right now is Lydia Ko with that round of 64, so the rest of them still playing. And now Cristie Kerr just 2 feet for her par to retain her 3-shot lead. She does it. Here's a look at her card. No squares on the card, let alone a double square like Jang had at the 8th hole, double bogey.
Well, Mark, take a look at Hall of Fame progress. 16 non-major wins, 2 major wins, 20 points, now 20 years on tour. Karen here, why to me she is a no-brainer Hall of Fame member. One way or the other. When she turned pro, Betsy King was winning major championships. She went through the King, Inksterbutt, the Sorenstam, Webb, Indy Park, and G.A. Shin, and all the great players, Lorena Ochoa. And now she's battling a player who's #1 in the world who wasn't born when she came on tour, Lydia Ko.
It's crazy, really. She has had an extended, career. She's ultra competitive, and she just loves to be in this moment. And she's a different Cristie Kerr this year, or since she's had her son Mason, but she's still able to find that competitive drive when she needs it on the golf course. Absolutely thrives for it.
Her son Mason is back home in Scottsdale with her husband Eric, painting Easter eggs back in Scottsdale. And, this has been quite the pre-Easter egg roll today for Cristie Kerr, rolling them in from everywhere. 37 of her last 8 yesterday, bogey-free, 6 under today.
Yeah, perfect.
Where the swans are right there.
Yes.
Should be left to right, so that should hold it pretty good, right?
Yes.
The breeze is left to right, also a little in.
Karen, Mark mentioned it earlier, there aren't a lot of places where you can make big numbers, but the second shot coming up here is one of the last places.
It's true, but as Mark rightly said too, a 3-shot lead is a heck of a lot better than a 2-shot lead.
And that's good shape right there.
Indeed, she'll be able to put her hand on it, clean it, take any mud off of it, place it back in the fairway. She's 1 clear right now of the tournament record, and Su-Yeon Jang. This is a career-changing type of day. Had she won, she would have eligibility on the LPGA Tour. This is going to be a big payday, but not quite the same.
Starts off up the right edge of the fairway.
just in the right rough. We've seen hole outs at 18, so I guess we should hold off. Cristie Kerr leads by 3 over that group. One of them joining Tom Abbott now. Tom?
Thank you, Grant. Here with Lydia Ko, tied for second at the moment, looking likely to be your best finish since your win at the Marathon Classic last summer. How important was this week, considering all the changes you've made?
You know, I think it's a big confidence booster. You know, I've been playing pretty solid. You know, didn't have a greatest week at you know, at the Kia Classic, but then played pretty decent at the first major of the year. But I think this has been hopefully a good confidence build up for the next coming events. And considering where I was after the first day, I'm pretty pleased with where I finished at the end of the week.
At 73 on day one, you were outside of the cut line, and then obviously you come right back into the frame. Did you know how close you were in the back nine today that you had a chance to win?
Not really. I just wanted to give myself as many opportunities as I could, and with the wind not being as high and strong compared to the other days, I knew that the birdies were out there, and especially with how the girls are playing, that you need to make a fair amount of birdies. And going into today with being 8 shots behind, that's a very big gap on a course like this where everyone's playing well. But I just try to focus on my game, and I think that was huge. And obviously to finish with a birdie on the 72nd hole is not a bad finish.
Yeah, it was a good shot we saw there. Nice way to finish. Lydia, thanks so much. Safe travels, and we'll see you in a few weeks. Let's head back out to the action now.
Time first for our UL Innovative Shots of the Day. Danielle Kang had it going. On the front nine, a 6-under par 30. Thanks in part to great shots like that. And Cristie Kerr at the 15th to push her lead to 3, where it remains as she plays 18, our UL Innovative Shots of the Day. This is a bogey putt for Elena Sharp.
Yeah, it's been tough since she missed the green right, just to avoid a 3-putt. Oh, she dug down deep for that.
Dropper to solo 5th place, depending on what happens to the last couple of competitors. There's 22-year-old Sue. See it. How tough will that be?
She's going to have to deal with the slope, and then when you look past the hole, you can see the water ahead of you. As long as it's got into the bottom flatter bit of that bunker, it shouldn't be too bad. She can use the slope to get it close.
Well, Jerry, they may not put a plaque for Cristie Kerr out here at Carolina, but this is going to be memorable, won't it be?
Absolutely. Yeah, a year and a half since her last victory. Caught some injuries last year. And even though she doesn't talk about it publicly much, gets her 1 point closer to the LPGA Hall of Fame, which is a completely objective standard. She is certainly, I believe, going to, even if she falls short of that, be welcomed into the World Golf Hall of Fame. The 6-iron, it will not be left to the hole.
Says be right. Will it take the slope? It's about the only thing that hasn't gone right the last couple of hours.
How does that not come down?
Victory walk for Cristie Kerr at Carolina. Kerr, tell you about that in just a second as we look high above Carolina's 18th green, and the big bunker shot coming up for Su-Yeon Jang, who has played in the final pairing or grouping in the 3rd and 4th rounds the last 2 years, and I think acquitted herself admirably.
Very flat lie here in the bunker. She would love for it to have been a little bit of the upslope to make this shot a fair bit easier.
thumped, didn't it?
It did. That was a good sound. And she's going to be disappointed to have been so close in back-to-back years. But it's a learning experience for her when you're going up against somebody as tough as Cristie Kerr. You cannot have 3 putts and give away shots the way she did, even though she had a lead.
Cristie Kerr shot 75 in the final round when she got her first victory. She held off Hee-Won Han by 1. That was in April of 2002, 15 years ago. It came in her 129th LPGA start, and it answered a lot of people wondering when she was going to win for the first time. She won again in April of 2004 here in Hawaii, the Fuji Classic. And it was April of 1994 when she made her LPGA Tour debut as a 16-year-old. It was in Daytona Beach. The sun is shining on Cristie Kerr now, and she still can't believe that ball didn't come down, Jerry.
It's just a matter of inches from coming down. All she has to do is advance it those couple of inches, and it's going to roll all the way down near the hole. It's going to go right going down the slope and left at the end. And based on what I'm seeing around the green ground, she's going to get a nice celebratory shower from some of her friends. This hole is completed.
Maybe with something from Kerr Sellers, perhaps? Probably not.
Sorry?
I was going to say maybe something from Kerr Sellers. That's not the best for a shower, but
this has a few more bubbles in it.
Yes, I think you're right. Tiny bubbles here in Hawaii. Well, Mark mentioned it earlier, Kieran, when Elena Sharp bogeyed 18 yesterday, it put Cristie Kerr in the final pairing today.
It did, and it really set about this chain of events for Su-Yeon Jang, and in terms of playing with somebody who really, as I said, is the alpha player in this group. I mean, she's very dominant, she's got lots of experience, and very intimidating to play with. Cristie, for her part, is wonderful to play with as well. She's very professional about everything she does on the golf course, and but as a young player, difficult sometimes.
Got a bunch of putts here with which to work. She'll only need 2 and a chance to mark this one.
You don't want to have to work too hard on a putt that you know is to win. Even though you have lots of shots in the bag, you know you've won. The emotions are setting in now for Cristie.
She's been trending toward this. 4th at the Kia 3 weeks ago, tied for 7th at the A&A Inspiration in the last event. 4th, 7th, 1st. She's got a lot going on off the golf course. She got husband Eric with a 3.5-year-old Mason. She's a winemaker. She's about to be a winner again for the 19th time. This for a tie for 2nd.
That's good to see, right?
I agree. Even par 72. And a 4-shot lead at one point earlier today. She'll settle for a tie for 2nd in her 4th career LPGA start. Just a foot or 2 left for Cristie Kerr. And that's vintage Cristie. The veteran comes from behind, from 5 back in the final round to win it by 3. Career victory number 19 and her first since 2015. back in the winner's circle. Third victory since becoming a mom.
That's impressive as well. I mean, having a baby is a life-changing moment, and to be able to come back and play as competitively as she is awesome.
Down to Jerry.
Well, with Cristie, and she's, well, smelling not like Kerr Sellers, but the sweet smell of victory. How much do you think your experience paid off today?
Oh, wow. I don't know what to say. It's been an epic day. It didn't start out, so hot, but I knew if I just hung in there and made a couple birdies, I'd get it going. And the back nine was magic for me this week, so it feels awesome.
Was it a feeling of staying patient when you were 5 back with 15 holes to play, that if you got to the backside with a chance, you felt like you might be able to do it?
Yeah, I tried not to really think about anybody but myself. I battled through so much this off season, and it just feels so good.
Your 19th win. Congratulations. Go sign your card and make it official.
Thank you.
Soak it in, Cristie Kerr. You're a winner again. Win number 19. And the race to the CME Globe now looks like this, with Cristie Kerr vaulting 20 spots. And how about the veteran players continuing to win in 2017? Let's send it down to Tom Abbott.
Well, Grant, last week Cristie Kerr was working on her business empire. We've talked